Welcome back, YouTube, to another video here with Mr. Sanders. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Today we're going to get into a pretty gruesome topic, one that I did not plan on covering. Obviously, no one planned on this, but we're going to be covering the Death of Takeoff. You know, Migos was there. I used to hate rap, to be honest. Like, I was a metal kid growing up. I was a rock kid growing up. I was born in the mosh pit. Uh, my parents listened to like Common and Kanye West or whatever, but I wasn't even feeling that really. And my ear is more adept now, but at the time, like, I was into like Avenged Sevenfold, like, Metallica, all whatever. So it wasn't until college and everyone was bumping Drake and I was like not into that, and I like would like the Migos kind of ironically because they would always be at the parties, and Chinatown was a hit, Hannah Montana, that goes hard. So that was kind of like my introduction to industry rap music. I was listening to some of the like Tyler the Creators and Earl Sweatshirts and stuff like that, like 2011, 2012, stuff like that. But Migos was pretty much my introduction to industry rap. So, this is really crazy to me. And the way that I'm seeing folks approach it is like, I get it, because not everyone is where I am with certain things like this. And so a lot of people are taking it to the black community, and I get it, because in the black community, we all have a story just like this. I lost a friend just like this probably a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? So everyone in the black community does have a story like this, which is why it hits so hard. But what people are failing to realize is that the industry itself is a dark and mysterious place. When you're dealing with these labels and it's not at all what it seems. It's a facade, just like the internet. So what I'm seeing people talk about is like, assuming that these rappers are even rich, which most of them are not. Most of these rappers are broke as hell. They are gifted jewelry, gifted clothes, don't really own their houses, don't even really know how money works, to be honest with you, don't really have any control over their finances, and a lot of them are in debt. We as the consumer think they're rich because that's the persona that they put out there, but it's really not the case. So when people are asking like, hey, why would they even be playing dice if they're rich? It's like, first of all, I said what I said, like, folks aren't even really rich. Second, there's a lot of speculation to believe that Quavo is actually in debt. So, boom. But the main point being, the whole rich persona is absolutely false. So if you see a rapper flexing diamonds or whatever, just know it's a persona. It doesn't really equate to like real net worth or anything. Second, we really have to look at really it's the video for me, because so the day of the death, the same day, Quavo drops this video messy. And I should do a reaction video to that, and probably instead. I'm a new-ish YouTuber, so I haven't even really gone that far yet, but I do want to do reaction videos. So if you want to see that video, remember to like and comment and subscribe. But yeah, you think like there's pretty much a major rapper that dies like every year basically, and this year has had a few. We just came off of the PNB Rock death, which there was some speculative foul play on that one, with the Empire Ring and stuff. I won't get too much into that because I don't know all the details, but especially with this new messy video, it's exactly what it is. It's fucking messy and very remnant of the videos that Triple X Tentacion uploaded before his death, which depicted a funeral, depicted the afterlife, and depicted a conversation with the powers that be, let's say. In the same outfit that he was deleted in, so all these crazy coincidences. And so for Quavo to post that video, I want you to understand it's not Quavo. Most of these artists don't have control over when they upload or anything like that. So it has his name on it, but in reality, it's the label making decisions. So for the label to post a messy video like that pretty much depicts exactly what happened the day of the death is very conspicuous. So just things I'm remembering from the video. This happened yesterday. It starts off with, some drama coming to the door, really to Quavo. Takeoff's like trying to dead it. Walks around this spidery room. Even before that, the fact that this man died, right? And then the beginning scene is him in a car slumped, and Quavo waking up from this dream in a panic. And he's trying to get a hold. It's like it's very obvious. It's very in our faces, and I just question like, how dumb do y'all think we are? Like seriously, like it's so crazy to me. So let's start there. They're both asleep or whatever, but because the death just happened, who knows? Takeoff could be dead, and he's trying to get a hold of him. He's scared. He's like, I had this bad dream where you. And so, yeah, Takeoff actually says what the dream was about. He said these kids, this haunted house, and then it brings us to the haunted house or whatever. Some girl's trying to come in. She's harassing Quavo. Takeoff's like, nah, like don't let her in. That's how the hook actually starts. Nah, don't let her in, right? He's not trying to beef. And so he walks around the house that's filled with spider webs and it's all dark and destroyed and stuff. And he sees these kids, which I think represents the Migos as a young collective. There's this QC diamond chain, like if you just literally look at it, like it's all right there. These kids are arguing over this chain or the clout, the money, and there's some kids who were silent, not arguing. Uh, Takeoff was standing next to something, but the video is so ominous and dark. It really shows you what it wants to show you, and then if it's not in the focus, it's either blurred or it's in the shadows or even in a red shadow. So there's a bunch of things like vampires in the background, folks with long white hair that look demonic in the background that you wouldn't really notice. And I'm not going to speak on too much because I don't have, the pictures and stuff from the new YouTuber. Um, but yeah, I would definitely encourage you to check it out for yourself. So then, he continues walking around because there's just little snapshots of his life. Basically, they're just looking through his life, and you start to think about the spider webs. What is a web? And I said this. I commented on a post about this. A web, a spider web for a fly. What does that mean? It means certain doom. And obviously flies don't have a prefrontal cortex like we do, so they're not as developed with their memory and stuff like that. But it means certain doom, but it gives you time to reflect. So once you're caught in the web, you're caught. It's over. But the spider might chill out. Spider might save you for dinner. Spider might even save you for breakfast the next day. Because you're caught. You're done. So, he's caught in these spider webs. So, boom. He's arguing with a woman or whatever. There's a bunch of stuff like that, but I'm not paying that any mind. What is relevant is there's a card game in the video that was posted on the same day as the death. These guys are arguing over a card game and money. How did he die? Over dice. Over gambling. It's the same thing. In the video, they're gambling. How did he die? Gambling. It's the same thing. Quavo had the drama coming towards him. Offset wanted, or Takeoff wanted to dead it. So this is in the video being posted the same day. So then the next relevant scene is, I would say, is after the card thing, which there like some stuff in the background too, really eerie. Takeoff is being filmed in a room alone with two chairs. Remember, there's three members of the Migos, and there's two empty chairs next to him. He's in that room alone. The couch that he's sitting on is filled with these spider webs. So you get a real, because of the mirrors and the antiques that were there, you get a real old mortuary death, kind of like a gothic Victorian era kind of vibe. And so I just made the metaphor that everything in the room is old and dead. Again, everything's covered with spider webs. Everything has a shadow over it, or is dark, it's black. And again, there's two empty seats, two seats for the Migos, and Takeoff is sitting in one. So it kind of has this purgatory vibe, but I wouldn't exactly say it's purgatory. But he is transitioning into the afterlife. So, and unfortunately, this is a video he filmed when he was alive. He probably didn't direct it. The label probably hired a director. These guys probably just showed up and, played the song or whatever. And they may or may not have known what they were getting into. Uh, but it's really coincidental when it's posted, it's uploaded the very same day that he dies. And if you check the comments, there's no like rest in peace. It's like follow Quavo, follow Takeoff, follow him where? And it's like it's the label, like they're still promoting QC, like it's crazy. So then the next relevant part after, like, it's clearly depicted that he's in this purgatory type environment, I would say, and that's where the spider webs are way more evident because there's so many spider webs and you realize they're just all over the house. That Takeoff, who only is filmed in the house, is always walking through these spider webs and through these memories of his life. With Amigos, because obviously they're related. And so the next relevant scene is Quavo on the bed. And there are no spider webs. There are no spider webs in this scene. But the bed is shaking, and even more relevant than the woman in red behind him. I know he says like some girl was like sleeping with another guy behind his back. Okay, I'll take that. But what's even more interesting is the fact that he's signing a contract with a gun next to it. Very interesting. Very interesting. And if you, at that point, actually mute the music, you can see he's having a really hard time with whatever the contract says. He goes like, he does, and he quickly does a one-eye thing, but I won't even mention that. He's having a hard time with whatever was on the contract. And there's a gun next to it. So take that for whatever you will. I'm just adding two and two together. It's looking like four. It's looking like four. So after that, he's in the elevator. Quavo is alone in the elevator. Again, looking like he's kind of like freaking out. Like he's looking up to who? Like he's freaking out. And again, no spider webs, very drippy, very modern and bright. He's gone back to his normal life without Takeoff. In this, Takeoff actually puts on a hood right next to the Grim Reaper. So, I mean, hey, man, listen, this isn't the only rapper that's gone out like this. Like I said, X had videos of his funeral, of the afterlife, of him making a deal with the powers that be, you know, and just the more you, I know there's a certain community here on YouTube that does understand what I'm talking about, and I hope to reach more people because, you know, obviously my channel isn't about this at all. My channel is about, you know, self-improvement, living your best life, getting fit, you know, doing all that you can do, being all that you can be. But when I see folks that I look up to as creators and stuff comment on this specifically and want to bring it to senseless violence, senseless gun violence, you know, black people hating black people, and while I do think that there's a space for those conversations, we're being misled in this particular incident. So like I said, like every black person has a story like this of senseless violence, of folks dying that didn't need to die, you know, over man, it's really real. Like too many stories about folks dying in the club, folks dying by accident, folks just being in the wrong place. Like, yo, too many people have been lost for situations like this. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, we're being misled by the labels. The labels will always get those posthumous streams. The labels will always put together a posthumous album that's going to outsell all the albums. And they usually these days will take a life insurance policy. Um, the fact that they were even gambling lets you know they weren't as rich as they made it seem. So, yeah, we are being misled by QC, to be completely honest with you. I think these guys were in the midst of suing and trying to get out their deal. You know, we can talk about the countless rappers that have gone through this, that have lost their life because they didn't know the business. You know, they didn't understand those contracts. And once they tried to get out of them, the labels realized they still need to make their money. They were going to lose their breadwinner. And again, these posthumous albums, these posthumous streams, they do numbers, major numbers. So that's the video for today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And rest in peace to Takeoff. It hurts. You know, like folks really do die around here every day. But we all bang your music, man. Like we all hate seeing stuff like this. Like it really blows. Like that the world just can't be like a peaceful, honest place. And I understand like there's as much good as there is evil in the world, and you can't do anything about evil. There's no point in, you know, being at war with evil the whole life. I believe in being in harmony with evil, you know, living with the evil inside of us and integrating that evil. But when you're just manipulated like this, you pour your money, you pour your time and your idolization out to these people, and you know, you see the life they live and you're like, man, like those guys are cool, their sound is cool, we're vibing with that for years. For it to end like this, it just blows. Like I've lost friends, man. Like I don't it doesn't hurt as much as that, you know what I'm saying? But I never wish this on anybody. And that's the video for today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Love you all. Oh shit.